probably 12 pre-race press conferences, so I don't think there are any new questions to be asked. But will it be lucky number 13 on Sunday?
I hope, yeah. I think in the beginning of my career I didn't have to do with press conferences, so it was not the same as now. But I think, yeah, the last from 2014 till now, I think I was really able, I think, to win Flanders. It didn't happen. A few times on the podium, a few times bad luck also. But yeah, I still feel ready to win Flanders, and hopefully it's indeed lucky 13.
Thank you. And I'll hand over to everyone else.
Greg, everybody's talking about the strength of the Koenig Quickstep. We saw last two races that they are beatable with an aggressive way of racing, to which you like. Is it the fact for you to find some partners in crime on Sunday to win? Or?
Well, we have to see how the race goes, I think, but yeah, for sure, I think the Koenig is the leading team of the spring. It's amazing how many races they won. The way they did it was also impressive. They have for sure a few extra cards to play, and compared to other teams they have only one card, and that's their strength, I think, for the moment. And they're also one of those, like Alaphilippe was super strong, Jungles was super strong, Stibar. So they were on top form. Sometimes it helps also, and then I think we have to play our own card, but for sure we can try to work a little bit together in the final. But I hope we got in a good situation, and then hopefully they cannot play like in E3. But sometimes there are some circumstances you cannot handle, and it's not really easy to say directly the outcome. But I think I'm happy about my form and about the races that I did, and I think I'm in a good shape to do a good result on Sunday.
Greg, at E3 and Omelette, it was your attacks that made the selections. Do you think other riders are waiting for you to attack?
I don't know. I think I'm always riding my own race, and I'm always happy that I can do this kind of attacks, because I like the way of riding like I do at that point. And I think that's always been in my character to attack and try to make the race. I'm not a guy who really always follow and just counts on other riders. If I'm capable, for sure I will make my own move. If I think it's the right move, and I think races like Niceblad and E3 are the closest, I think, to the kind of way of racing in Flanders. And this gives me confidence also that I'm capable to do this in Flanders, which is still a longer race, but even better, I think, for me to make the decisive move.
Greg, you've often said that Flanders is the race that you dream of winning in your career.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about what it would mean to you if you didn't win Flanders? How it might change your life one way or the other?
It will not change my life for sure, but I think it's a goal as an athlete. I think where you start your career, you want to become professional, then you reach some other goals. And for me, it was winning Flanders, because when I was 23 years, I was 8th in Flanders, and then you think you can win it. Now I'm 33, I still didn't want it. I was a few times close. I got a few times opportunities, I think, to win, but it didn't happen. But it will not change my life. But you have to have goals in your life, and with me, it's a big goal to win Flanders. It's my training park, or it's my area where I live, and I think it's also the race that still fits me the best. So for me, it's a really important race, and for sure I will be super motivated to win it once. And I think it's still not too late. I still have a few years, but I'd rather win it on Sunday than the year after.
Okay, the last couple of years we had like 3, maybe 4 favorites. Now I think you can mention 10, maybe 12 names without making yourself ridiculous. Do you agree that there are so many favorites, and is it in a way an advantage for you?
But I think a few guys are really better than the others. I think Jungles for me is Stibar. They are for me main favorites. Van Aert is riding also super strong. He didn't win a race yet, but you see as a little bit of an advantage on the others. And then I think behind those three, I think you have a big group of riders. They are a bit on the same level, but still you can say I think you have two or three really big favorites for the race.
Where do you place Mathieu van der Poel Sunday?
Yeah, a little bit underneath those three, I think. I saw also the race on Wednesday, and it's a really strong effort that he did, but it's still a different race than Flanders, I think. But yeah, when I know Mathieu also a little bit. I see him sometimes with Bombeek in the clinic, so it's a super good rider, and we can put him already in the favorites, but I would not put him directly as a top favorite. He still has hopefully some things to learn.
Where
Is
do you put yourself? With the three top favorites, or?
I can be underneath, yeah. I think,
Underneath?
yeah, I think I'm good, but I didn't win the race yet, so I think I can be a little bit behind the top favorites.
What have you seen in Sagan so far? He hasn't quite been winning a lot of races. Do you see him stronger or a little bit off maybe from his peak year?
Yeah, a little bit off. I think if you know Sagan, how he races the years before, he was really dominating the races, and he was always the decisive guy to do the moves. This year he's not able to do this, and yeah, it's a bit strange for me that he's not on this level yet. But with him, you never know. I think sometimes a step to the top level is small with him, and I think for sure the races in 3 and Gent-Wevelgem helped him to get a little bit better form, and maybe he's just peaking a little bit later because of his sickness in Tirreno. And I don't mention him as a top favorite, but he's still there, and he's still capable to win the race on Sunday.
Will you be nervous Sunday when you wake up?
Wow, yeah, for sure, yeah. I think it's, for me, the most important race of the year. If you don't get any nervous about this anymore, you better have to stop, I think. And I think these things are keeping you going for doing better and working harder, I think, in winter time. And for me, it's an honor to start as a favorite, because it's still something special for me, because as a kid I was watching this race and I want to be one of them, and now I'm one of the top favorites in Flanders. You have to always remember it's a big thing, and for sure you have to be nervous of the race, but it just cannot kill you, because I'm capable to do it, and I know. So a bit of healthy stress, it's really good.
How much of your season is weighted on this race?
A lot, I think. Yeah, I think the 2-3 races that are coming now are the most important of the season. Of course, we had already a few big races before. I could not win, but I was always able to do the final. I was able to do a good result. But in the end, it's winning that counts, I think. And for me, it's the biggest goal of the year, and there's a lot of weight on it.
How important is positioning going into the key climbs in the last hour or so? I mean, is that, if you're not in the right position going into the Koppenberg or Avermaet, it's just a big difference in terms of winning and losing, right?
Yeah, I think there are some key points. First is the Muur, I think. You have to be good in front. Then you have the Koppenberg, the Quaremo. Second time Quaremo is really important. From then on, it's a little bit easier, I think, because then the peloton is stretched out. You go to Patersberg, and then it's more about legs. I think if you say 2 key points to be really in position, when the peloton is still able to do some moves, I think it's the Muur and Quaremo. Afterwards, Koppenberg. If you have good legs, you're always top 10, so it's not a big problem.
Do you last questions, if there are any?
Marit told that Patersberg could be the key moment of the Ronde Van Vlaanderen. Do you agree?
Well, I think from the second time Quaremo, it's the race open. I really like the last lap with Quaremo, Patersberg, Koppenberg, Taaienberg, Kruisberg. It's a really nice combination of climbs, and this makes the Ronde Van Vlaanderen such a hard thing. And then you have to do the last time Quarmo and Patersberg, where is always the strongest guys going. So I think on this last 40 Ks, 50 Ks is a lot of points to go. Of course, Patersberg is the last big one to make the difference, but I think there are several points on this lap where you can move. And this we saw also already the years before.
Rachel, what makes you think that your team will be stronger than the last couple of races?
I think it's the race that fits us maybe better because we have a longer warm-up than the other races, and I think we are capable to do a good position on the Quarmo. I think that's the key point, and if we can survive with a little bit more guys than the other time, I think it will be fine. But I think the team is strong enough to support me on the crucial points, and afterwards I think it's more man to man than in the other races, and I think it's for me a good card to play.
Just after the Patersberg, there's a couple of changes in the race course. Is that in the advantage of the attacker, or is it a disadvantage because it's a little bit more turning and you're faster out of sight, less smaller roads actually?
Well, yeah, I think it's from there on it's already small roads, and it's really it's not such a big change. It's only one corner earlier left, and then a little bit of turning. But I don't think it makes a big difference. I think the way to Oudenaarde, you saw also sometimes it's a big road, but in the end it's always the same guy who stays in front. And I think if you can make a difference on Quarmo and Patersberg the last time, you can keep it also to the line. And most of the time it's the same groups are still together also at the line.
Excellent, thanks everyone. As I mentioned, we'll head